Welcome back folks. Stalker 2 Cost of Hope recently got a new story trailer focusing on dynamics between duty and freedom, two very prominent groups in the zone that in my opinion didn't really play a pivotal role in Stalker 2, which was sad considering how active they were in previous games, not always directly, but you still felt their presence in the zone. Cost of Hope expansion fixes that by ripping up the D4 treaty, which was signed by both parties in 2013, forced of course by Korushnov to reinforce Vard as the main player in the area. This resulted in Freedom occupying Rostock, which belonged to Duty, and Duty had to move the cement factory, and that stayed as is if you play the game. That's the status quo. But because they are integrating this expansion into the main game, it means treaty gets dissolved as you play. Also, the expansion itself will have branching storyline, and GSC says that you will have to do multiple playthroughs to see them, betting on replayability value for new and returning players, as engine upgrade is also in the works, but more on that later in the video. But why do these factions fight? Well, their view on the zone are fully opposite, which in reality means Duty wants to control the zone and protect humanity against it. That can only be achieved with a strict military code and control of the entire zone to stop people from snooping around. Because Captain Tachenko, who formed Duty, saw the horrors of the zone while exploring it and decided that it must be destroyed. Naturally to that, another faction was formed, Freedom, which believes zone should be open to all and people should benefit from the zone. And now years later, as Stalker 2 takes place in 2021 and Duty being led by General Voronin, things are going to start changing. Freedom on the other side is led by Mikula, who solidified the faction as the treaty benefited them a lot, making money through trading. So you can bet that Duty feels scammed and things won't go well. Main reason I think that is because Zulu from Duty is working with Mavka, who is a Freedomer. You might also know her as the arena announcer in the main game. Cost of Hope takes us into the NPP, as it wasn't a part of the main game, with all of its surrounding areas and buildings, but in any case it will be cool to explore it in more detail now, including the Iron Forest, which is going to be the second location. They haven't shared too much about the story, but power plant, Duty, Freedom in one package seems like trouble, and we don't even know the full goals from Zulu and Mavka. On the gameplay side, we see more areas, including X16, Brainy Boy, which also tells me that GSC is going all in to capture how the zone felt before, in both conflict and story elements from previous games. But I do wonder what Strelok thinks about all of this. I mean, they even have Suslov speak in the trailer and he was in clear sky. I mean, I wouldn't even notice if I didn't turn on the captions, so what is he gonna be doing there? We shall see. In the previous reveal, we did learn that we are getting new weapons, artifacts, anomalies to discover. Size-wise, I think if you take into account the scale in Stalker 2, at least from the NPP and all of that, this expansion could take a while to finish. They're also playing a lot with influence of the zone on Skiff with these levels, and I think even this segment with Mavka in darkness speaking to us is that influence, as it's normal. I mean, if you get close to the center of it all, you're going to go kinda crazy. I mean, just ask Clear Sky. Or basically all of the factions during the Operation Zenith, where Korushnov tried to get to the NPP with all of the major factions after they signed the treaty, but the new emission occurred and wiped out almost all of them. It seems that they never do learn, right? We still don't have a release date. It says summer 2026, so maybe end of August, as September is already stacked with releases who are avoiding GTA 6. And they are also reaffirming that the expansion is still planned for summer as of June 8. As far as engine update goes, we don't have any info right now when it releases, either with the expansion or before it. Personally, I do hope that this expansion and the update itself brings a lot of stuff into the game, so that more people can actually get into this. I mean, they have fixed up a lot and added new stuff over time, but there are still some lingering issues that I feel they're keeping for this bigger update, as it can serve as 2.0. Maybe they won't call solid 2.0 version, but if it feels like that, people come back or they play it for the first time because they think there is, well, a significant update to the game. But look, updating engine version itself does take time, especially if you want to enhance A-Life to really feel like before. I mean, as I said, they made some advances in it, which I will talk about in detail in my next video, but it still needs work. In some cases, it still feels too scripted and just weird. This also means I don't expect any other patches to the main game until later this summer, because full focus is now on this, as it should be in my opinion better than small updates which don't really fix a lot. I mean, what do we get by it? Nothing. In case of a possible delay, of course nothing has been announced, I'm just kinda saying here, I could also see them having engine update first and then release of the expansion later, but don't worry, it doesn't seem like the scenario is going to be like this, so it does seem that the expansion is still staying for the summer this year. And this is everything for today. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with the latest Stalker 2 news and information, consider liking and subscribing, and as always, all of these sources are down below in the description. And join our community on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.